But one of the arguments that I hear from a mainstream Christian perspective could go something like this: Jesus was born, and he had to keep the whole law, which he did, and so since he kept the whole law, we are no longer under law. In other words, we no longer, and this under law, according to this perspective, would mean we no longer have to keep the law, right?
But from that same argument, they would say we never were under the law.
If you, this is
okay. In
actually,
other words, if I'm born,
okay.
if I'm born after Jesus already ascended, when was I ever under the law? If Jesus did away with the law, by the time I was born,
right?
So when did I get delivered from being under the law to being not under the law?
So this is actually a great.
You know what I mean? Unless the law still.
This is a
in
great point,
1970s when I was born, 1971, if you really need to know.
Ooh.
He's
a youngin'.
Year. It's a fine, what do they call, vintage. If the law ceased, then why did he have to die for my sin if the law was done away? So there's all sorts of,
So with that, okay, this actually brings up another point though, which is what side of the aisle, like if we talk about various views within Christianity, what side of the aisle are people falling on? So in other words, if you, being born in 1971, were never under the law because Christ died on the cross and made it so that we're not under the law, does that mean that people that were born before Christ died on the cross were under the law? And if that is the case, is there a different way of salvation? In other words, is salvation different? If you're born not under the law, but somebody before Christ was born under the law, what's the ramification of that?
Yeah, I think what we're showing is that that's not a helpful way to approach this text.
Well, and not only that, but it also shows that I think that there's a major fallacy in the idea that that there was a different way of salvation, or that God saved people differently before Christ came. In other words, Abraham was saved the same way that I was, by faith in the coming Messiah and his death. In other words, him dealing with sin, right? So he believed that the coming seed would deal with sin, and it was counted to him as righteousness. He believed in the gospel. Don't miss any clips from Messiah Matters by clicking the subscribe button. Also, give this video a thumbs up and share it so other people can see it too.